welcome back to the Khadijah Show. As always, we have a theme, and today's theme is the glow up you never seen coming. Listen, when I say glow up, I'm not talking about braces off, hair laid, and your ex trying to spin the block, even though we love those moments and they should be celebrated. Well, not your ex, the other two. But I'm talking about the ones that you feel inside. Maybe it's emotional, maybe it's spiritual, maybe it's finally leaving that job, that relationship, or that version of yourself that kept you playing small. Glow ups don't just happen in selfies, they can also happen in silence, in healing, and hard work. So today we are celebrating those transformations that no one saw coming. I'm so excited for my guest, so let's get into it. I'm so excited for my first guest for this show and this theme. This guest I met almost a year ago. It was maybe his first or second show doing comedy. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna go somewhere. And then I looked at his Instagram and he already had like 500,000 followers. He's already very famous, very funny. Not only is he a comedian, but he's a baker and he takes good care of himself in the gym too. We're going to talk all about that. Please welcome my guest, Sam Schedler, to the Khadijah Show.
Thank you so much, Khadijah. What a nice introduction. I actually remember when we first met because you made a really big impression on me.
I did?
Yes, it was one of my first times I had ever done stand up. And you told me, you were so kind to me and you were like, you're doing really well at this and people are going to just snatch you up right up on your, or like people are going to want you on their shows.
Kidnap you?
Right
I
away.
told you you were going to get
Yeah,
kidnapped?
basically. You told me I was going to get kidnapped.
Oh no.
You were just like, yeah, people are probably scoop you up.
Probably scoop.
That's probably, yeah.
That feels more like me. Like,
that
you're just
feels
going to
more-
scoop you up.
Yes,
You're not getting
yes.
in any white vans.
No white vans. But I just remember like coming from someone who I didn't know you very well, but I knew you were so good at your craft, and the fact that you took your time to encourage me in that way was huge for me. To have someone so respected in this community, like, encourage me was awesome. So like I remember that meeting very well. It was in the back of Sisyphus. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was fun. I always love seeing new comics, and because comedy is scary, you never know like what the scene is gonna look like. And I think we're really lucky here in Minneapolis because we have such a welcoming scene.
Yeah.
Like everybody's so helpful. There doesn't feel like there's a lot of gatekeeping and all of that. And you slid right into the scene seamlessly.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we've gotten to work with each other a lot and do lots of fun shows, but I actually don't know how you started in comedy. Can you tell me a little bit about your like comedy journey?
Yes. So I remember we'll go back and then we'll scoot forward.
Okay.
I remember I always wanted to make people laugh because I watched Tommy Boy as like a 4-year-old with my brothers, and they laughed so hard at that movie, and I had no idea what they were laughing at.
Yeah.
The only part I remember laughing at is when he like spills his peanut butter M&Ms into like the front of the car. I was like, that's funny. But I like watched my brothers laugh. I'm like, I don't know why they think this is so funny, but like I want to do that to people. And so I've always wanted to like make people laugh in some way. And then COVID happened. I am a registered nurse and I was working on the COVID unit at the time. And I just like, a lot of us needed hobbies, right? And so I was like, I'm gonna start posting on TikTok and social media. And I remember the very first video I posted, it was a video on like how to make homemade Pedialyte. And I used like a voice effect. And I rewatched it probably like 300 times and laughed so hard every single time. I'm like, this is gonna make me a star.
Yeah.
And like 3 people watched it. But I just like started posting and having a lot of fun with that. I got to meet a lot of people through this like 2-year time frame on social media. And then one of them was from Minnesota. And he knew that I always wanted to try stand up, but I was too scared. And so I would go to open mics and be like, I'm going to do it this time. And then I'd go and be like, actually, I'll never do that ever again. I never did it. And I was like, I'd go feeling so brave to do it. And then I'd be like, actually, no, I'm not going to do this. But my friend asked me to be a part of his show. His name's Alex Colliard. He's in LA now. He's wonderful. He's from here. And I was like, Alex, I've never done stand-up before. Like, are you sure? And he's like, yes, do 10 minutes, please, on my show. And I did. and I'll never look back. It was just like
Yep.
such a magical moment. I had so much fun on stage, and then I was like, okay, I guess I gotta do a lot more shows.
Yeah,
and
you're
like,
a comedian now.
yeah.
I remember my first time on stage, I blacked out. The fact that you did 10 minutes, your first time is wild to me.
Yeah.
Because most people do 3 minutes. And like also just you being a registered nurse, I'm sure that time was really hard in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And like, thank you for sticking in it and being there and giving care to people.
Yes, of course. It was
I also have this
really
thing
cool.
with my knee I'm going to want you to look at after.
You got it.
Thank you. Healthcare's
You'll have to pay me,
expensive.
obviously, but just kidding.
Yeah, you take my health insurance.
yeah.
Are you in my
We'll
network?
run it by insurance. That's fine.
Okay. So you grew this following on social media, and at the same time as like honing your craft, and you have a really unique comedy style and comedy voice, and it's really unique to you, and it feels authentic. So how do you draw like inspiration to like write jokes or create jokes?
Well, thank you. That's super nice. Sometimes that's super nice that you said that. So I appreciate that. I think the thing that helps me is I have only ever created stuff when I've wanted to. I've never done something, I've never like posted or written something because I felt like I had to like appease the algorithm or like post at certain times or post X amount of times a day. And like that's my writing process basically, is like making stuff for social media and seeing how I can translate that to stand up. And so this like stand up and social media has always just been a creative outlet and never something where like I'm gonna just follow what the algorithm says. So I think that only doing it when I feel inspired helps me make it more authentic to me.
Yeah.
Still having
it
like
doesn't feel forced. You're
Yeah.
not like, oh, I have to post today at 3:00 and I haven't
Yes.
shot anything. Let me hurry up and figure it out.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I have this good idea. I love this. I want to create this
Yes.
and put it out when I'm ready. And like, there's no pressure and it's going to happen when it happens.
Yes.
What a beautiful message.
Yeah, and I think like there's still the discipline part of like, as far as like writing, I still have to like force myself to like just get words on a page or whatever.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
like that's because I want to get good at my craft, and it's not like I have to like post something by 3 p.m. otherwise people are going to forget about me.
Right.
Like I think keeping that boundary of like, this is just for me to create things because I want to make people laugh and have fun with it, helps me stay authentic to my voice.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And you do a lot of things on social media. And one thing that I'm a huge fan of, because I have quite a sweet tooth, is you bake a lot. Have you always been a bake, or did it happen during the pandemic?
Pandemic.
Okay, so the pandemic, I mean, it was awful and like a lot of horrible things. But the little silver lining is, boy, you really had quite the glow up during the pandemic. You're like, I found comedy, creativity, I found baking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That one, what I started, okay, the reason I started baking is because I'm a terrible gift giver. I would give you, Khadijah, a gift card to my favorite restaurant and be like, why won't you like that? It's a good restaurant, so
like,
you should be thankful.
This is my favorite sushi restaurant.
Yes.
I don't eat sushi.
Yes, yeah. I'd be like, take it. It's a good gift, whatever. So I'm a terrible gift giver. I admire people who are good at that. But I was like, I don't want to give people gifts anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll learn how to bake. But I saw an online course for baking that took 4 weeks. 3 weeks. And each week was like pretty intense as far as 3 to 5 hours a day. Like on a day off, right? And like it's watching videos and like trying stuff. But I was like, okay, I'm going to devote these 3 weeks to baking. What the heck else am I going to do? I'm stuck inside. And I loved it. Yeah. And it was so terrible at first for the longest time. And now I just like, it's just another creative outlet and a hobby. And I love that I can give people stuff
Yeah. Did you bring cookies or anything today?
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. Next question.
And you asked me to.
I did. I was like, please
sorry.
bring cookies. So you do a lot of shows in Minneapolis around, and you have started you produce shows as well. And we did a really fun show where you had comics give advice to real people with real situations.
Yeah.
With another friend of ours, Lahiro Simra Singh. He is also another great Twin Cities comic. So how did you come up with that concept for the show, like advice? And why would you want comics to give people advice on their real problems?
Such a good point. I don't know. So Lahiro and I, we worked really well together. He's wonderful. We wanted to produce another show that was cheap. We wanted it to be a cheap show for people. We wanted it to be short, and we wanted people to basically cheap and short to get people out of their houses, especially in the winter. So those are two of our goals. And then we wanted a show that was more than just here are 6 comics that are all wonderful comics. Here's some of their comedy. We wanted to switch it up a little bit to give something to people a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so we wanted a format that we could make new each week, basically, based on what people submitted. So we kind of brainstormed and we came up with this idea of advice column where people who hopefully are coming to the show or just people who are on the internet that want to ask a question will submit a question that they have, like an advice column, and then we'll read through, kind of match questions to different comedians.
Okay.
And then we'll ask those to the comedians after they do their set, and it's just it was so fun. We've only done it once.
Yeah.
I was so happy you were able to do that first show, and it was just so fun. I'm super excited for the format of it all. I'm super stoked.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing format. I think I wasn't sure what people would submit if they're like, oh, it's a comedy show, I'm gonna submit silly things or funny things. But people really submitted things that they were really struggling with. And also what I love about it is people are submitting real things that they want advice about, and it also gives them a way to laugh about things that maybe are really causing them some tension or adversity in their life.
Yeah.
And people get some perspectives that potentially could be helpful or criminal. We don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a good
there's a
mix
spectrum
of everything in that show.
But one thing that I really took when I was watching it is you're actually really good at giving advice.
That's so nice.
Yeah. The theme of the show is the glow up that you didn't see coming. And, through our conversation, obviously you had such a glow up in the pandemic where you found comedy in this creative outlet, you found baking, and that's what this show is really about. It's not about the glow up physically that we see on social media, which is to be celebrated. We love a good physical glow up. Love it. But there's so many other places in our life that we can glow up or thinking about how do we want to do that. So if you could give the viewers some advice on ways they could glow up in, let's say, their love life. How can people glow up in their love life if they're out there dating, they're on the apps, they're trying to find love?
Yeah. I do think I am a terrible person to ask about love life, but I can tell you.
Okay. I was like, we can move to the next one.
I think I've learned good boundaries as I've gone on hundreds of dates with people, and I would say the biggest advice I can give is just trust your gut when you are dating. If you don't know I'm so stressed. I'm thinking about all the times I've agreed to meet up with someone even though my gut told me I don't think that there's a connection.
Yeah. Glow up that gut instinct.
Listen to your body. I keep pointing to my gut, but that's where you know,
That's how you know.
I think you know.
Yeah. Somewhere your body knows or something.
Yeah.
Good. I love that. So if somebody was trying to glow up in their career, what would be the advice that you would give them?
Show up on time. One of my coworkers, what she would always say if someone was being unprofessional, she'd be like, it's their job job. Just for some reason that framing made me be yeah, this is your job job. This is your profession. Show up on time.
Just show up.
Just that's all you have to do.
Well,
I
there's
don't know.
more. I think there's more.
I think there's like one
There's
or two
more.
other
You're
things.
a nurse. There
but-
feels like there's more. You
Yeah,
just can't
that's
show.
true.
There's IVs and stuff.
There's IVs and stuff,
You know?
triage calls, whatever.
Yeah. Just show up.
Yeah.
Just glow up and show up.
Glow up and show up to glow up. How's
show
that?
up to glow up. That's
There
the
we go.
tag.
Yeah.
We worked that out in real time. I love that.
That's perfect.
Is there an area in your life that you were like, oh, like I've really glowed up in the last like 6 months?
I started coaching at my gym.
Oh, okay.
And so in April, I took a class to coach, and then I've been kind of interning at my gym. We do CrossFit stuff, and I have gotten into it during COVID. Classic.
Classic, Sam.
And that it's just been a huge outlet for me, and it's it's a really interesting position to put yourself in as an adult, to be like really bad at something.
Yeah.
And like my initial instinct when I was really bad at coaching, because I like hadn't done it before, was like, well, I'm not going to do it. But like, no, you're learning. Like you just have to feel comfortable in sucking at this. It's brand new. It's okay to be new to things, and you should be proud of yourself for putting yourself out there to learn a new skill.
I love it.
You know?
Grace in the glow up.
Grace in the glow up.
We have
Exactly.
so many great tags in this interview.
What are we going to pick for a title? There's so many options.
There's so many options.
Wow.
But I love that. It's like you can have a glow up and then let fear stop you from like actually like reaching that like full glow up moment, because you're like, I'm bad at this, I'm not good at this, or nobody's gonna like it, or all these things. And it's like, no, just give yourself grace and like push through the fear, because we hear it all the time on the internet, you know, in our self-help books, is like, once you push through fear, get over the risk, that's where the magic happens. And that's what you're talking about. This has been great, Sam. I feel like you really like shared yourself with us, so thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule from baking and nursing and all of these things
Khadijah.
that you're doing to talk. How can people find you if they want to come to a show, maybe get advice? Yes,
I am on social media at Sam Shed, SAMSCHED. My last name is Schedler, but someone else took that, so I can't have it. And the advice column is the last Wednesday of every month at Sisyphus in Minneapolis. So come on out. $5 for a show, not bad.
Yeah, therapy is way more expensive.
Therapy is so much more
Just
expensive.
like write down what you need, and like you're gonna get some help. All right, Sam, thank you so much.
Thank you
For coming.
Yeah, of course.
Give it up for Sam. He didn't bring cookies, but that's fine.
Sorry.
It's okay. Oh my gosh, what a great conversation we had with Sam, and I am thrilled for our next guest. Our next guest is a Twin Cities comedian. She also does improv, and she is a U.S. Marine. I'm so excited to have Alexis Camille on the show. Give it up for Alexis. Woo!
Beep, beep,
There's
beep,
no
beep.
studio audience, but we got the energy. Yeah, there it is.
Thank you.
No, thank you so much for being on the show and coming to share all your wisdom with the people watching and everything like that.
What a treat, and what an honor to even that you think I have wisdom and something of interest to say.
You do. Okay, first of all, you know I'm like a huge fan.
I was going to say it first. I'm a huge fan
of
your work. I think you're hilarious and brilliant.
That's what this interview is going to be. It's just going to be like, I love watching you do improv. I love watching you on screen, because I went to a few years ago, the Twin Cities Film Festival in St. Louis Park, and I think your partner had a movie in it, and it was so funny, and you are so good at it.
I'm a mess. I love it. But
you know what? Being a mess, if that's part of it, I'll take a little mess.
No, it was really great. Actually, my partner, Simone LeClaire, she's the director of that movie, Bathroom Break.
Yep.
She had seen me do a bunch of improv and stuff like that, and asked me to do that project. And I hadn't met her before, but that's how we met.
Okay, so your art brought you love.
Yeah, right on. And
tell me a little bit of like how you got into improv, how you got into acting, and because you did that after being in the Marines?
I did, yeah.
What a cool transition.
I was in the Marine Corps. I did my 2 tours in Iraq and did the classic, I want to go back to school. And I kept trying to focus on something that, you know, your folks want you to do. Like, oh, maybe I'll do communications, or maybe I'll study, you know, political science and those sorts of things. And I was having a rough time transitioning from the Marine Corps and civilian life, and just like being home. It's just a different pace. And when I went back to school, it just got really overwhelming, not doing what turned out to be what I love. And I had a friend who was an improviser, and she like studied like drama therapy at Harvard or something like that.
I've never heard of drama therapy.
Yeah, it's and
That's
okay. Oh,
interesting.
I could about to run my mouth.
Run it.
It was real dope. So I was working with this youth group, and they were using it's called Theater of the Oppressed, this theater format to engage social justice issues. Like they act stuff out and then engage the audience. Now put yourself in this person's shoes. Maybe it's a scenario that's like about rent control or discrimination, usually a little deeper stuff,
Build
right?
that empathy, build that like
Right,
universal
right.
understanding.
Yeah, and this girl, this woman, she also led this youth group, and she had this background in theater and improv, and she was like, Alexis, you should try improv. And I was like, oh, no.
Okay.
So this friend, she invited me. She was like, hey, do you want to come to my rehearsal, my improv rehearsal? Like, could you just like, drop me off and hang tight, and we'll go hang out after? And I was like, oh, yeah, bet. And we get there, and just as it's starting to start, the people in the group are like, all right, come on up to me. And I'm like, nope, just here to watch my friend.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, come on, you're doing the jam. And I was like, a jam?
Yeah.
And she was like, I paid for you, like, you're gonna do this right now, like, come play. And I was
She
like,
set you up.
she set me up, yo.
Because
And
she saw something in you that maybe you didn't see in yourself.
I had so much fear of not fitting in the box, or I'm not this enough, I'm not interesting enough, oh, I couldn't possibly think like that. And so that's what it took, was a friend just being like, yo, try this thing out. She tricked me into it. She tricked me into it.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely hooked. Like, right away. It felt really liberative, you know what I mean? Like room to express myself.
You know, you're also part of Blackout Improv, which I absolutely love seeing that troupe. I think it is multifaceted. It's not just improv. It really talks about and really addresses things that are happening not only in the Twin Cities, but as people of color and Black folks, like what's really happening. And it adds that comedy.
Oh, yeah.
So then we can
spoonful of
talk
sugar.
A spoonful
Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, right?
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your experience in Blackout and like,
I was really fortunate when I moved out here. I moved out here to take care of my folks, and I wandered over to a huge theater, and the folks that I met over there, I met Jada Pulley and John Gibertatios, and you know they had this, I think it was a monthly BIPOC improv jam, and they're like, you got to come through, check this out, because they saw me in the lobby in a sea of white folks, you know, and they were like, you, like we got something maybe you might be interested in. And then I think a year or two later, I auditioned for Blackout. I got in there, and like, you know, one of the people I really looked up to in Blackout, and still do, Joy Dolo, who's one of the co-founders. Like, I'd never seen like a Black woman like that, you know, that kind of energy, like in my face, hilarious, thoughtful. And Blackout, like you said, was having these conversations that were about social justice and like hard conversations, and then would jump up and do improv and create scenes and live theater based off of these conversations. Yeah. And that was the, I think, start of a really serious like healing journey that I didn't totally know that I needed in the way that I needed it, if that makes sense.
I think people who do art and do comedy and acting and improv, we know like it feels some holes in our heart sometimes. You know, it really does. It like patches it, not because we're doing something that we love, but because of the community that we get to surround ourselves with. And so when you think about like that healing piece, right? Because we're talking about the glow up nobody saw coming. Right. I'm really talking about the glow ups from inside, and you're talking about healing and how improv and laughter in this community gave you that. Can you tell me a little more about that? Like, how can people maybe find that for themselves?
For me, it was unbeknownst to me, like I'm more myself when I'm doing improv and I'm doing the make 'em ups than I'm more myself playing like that than anything, right? Because it makes me think of like when you're a kid, that root self, that's what comes out when I do improv. Right, you know, the kid who's on the castle, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a knight and, you know, you're a donkey or whatever.
It gives you permission to be ridiculous, where as an adult, people are like, don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous.
And it's like, but I want to have childlike joy. Like, where does it say in the contract of being an adult that, like, I can't have childlike joy and, like, have a castle, or my wooden spoon can't be my microphone?
Hello? This girl said the other day at this BIPOC jam, she was somebody who was like kind of in our little audience. She was like, I don't want to do anything. Like, she's like, I'm not going to play and blah, blah, blah. And she ended up jumping up and playing because she was like, I do this. I could see it in her eyes.
Yeah. People want it. They're just scared.
They're scared.
Like, I don't want to look silly, or I don't want to look or say something dumb, or
And it's like, you can go ahead and let that go, because by the time she was done, she was like, we're up here just lying. And I was like, I never thought of it like that. I was like, yeah, we're up here just lying. We're playing pretend. And it feels so, like, somatically.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like the guard down, the vulnerability. I'm being vulnerable. You're being vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I don't got to worry about what you're thinking about me. Right? Because I'm not judging you.
No, so, like, when you were talking, what I really think really resonates with the theme of the show as a glow up is, like,
period.
When we were children, we never worried about a glow up, you know? Like, we never worried about, like, what's gonna happen? Like, are we gonna be the best at something? We just did it. We just, like, we were fearless. And I think improv gives people permission to be fearless. And I love that you talked about, like, somatic. Like, you feel good in your body when you're playing.
Period.
Right? Like, that's science. I don't know. I don't have any research, but I assume it's science.
Yeah, it is. I think it is science, right? Because that energy.
Yeah.
Think about all the tension that we store in our bodies when we're essentially wearing our masks all day, trying not to look too silly or weird, and we want to be taken seriously, and we're always concerned about what other people are thinking about us. And man, you're doing improv, you don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
You're literally you're playing. I don't have time. I'm just listening to somebody and, like, I'm just playing. So all the stuff holding on to just, like,
goes away.
You let go.
Because as you were talking, I was thinking, I was like, I'm very silly. I like to be silly often.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, I just had an epiphany. I've never been sad being silly. I've never had a bad time being silly.
Oh my.
The hope is, like, when people are playing and, like, tapping into that part of themselves, no matter if it's just like, I'm gonna come and I'm just gonna move a centimeter out of my comfort zone, which is huge. We use it in other parts of our life, at work, with our kids, with our families. Like, how can we add more play? Because there's so much serious stuff happening in the world. And I was just talking to my friend, and it's like, maybe we should just, like, have a laugh. And I laughed often. Like, I'm very fortunate. I have a life where I get to laugh a lot.
Right.
And I know the benefit.
Yes.
I know what life feels like when I'm not laughing a lot. And I know what life feels like when I am laughing a lot. And I will take the latter.
Period.
Every single time.
Did you ever grow up, like, with this mentality? I know I did, like, laughter and play, like, very specifically, like, there's no time for that. Like, life's not about happiness or, like, joy. That, you know, life is about, you know, getting married, you know, having a family and working. You know what I mean? I
think for me, you know, my mom's also a comedian.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, laughter has always been the foundation.
Sure.
I think once I had a kid, I was like, now it's time to be serious with life. I got to figure out life. I have to, like, get on a path that feels stable. And, like, so for a long time, I was just focused on that. Like,
in my experience, God bless my parents. I love you very dearly. But I think for them, raising kids, you know, they adopted my younger brother and I when my mother passed away, and they had their kids and us, and they were just like, we don't have time for us to fail, and we don't have time for you to fail. And I wasn't really good at doing it their way. Like, I couldn't do that thing and, like, not laugh when I thought something was funny. Now, don't get me wrong. My family and the people in my family, my parents are some of the funniest people I know, by far, easily, right? You know? But I think as they want you to be fed in life, and they don't want you to struggle in the ways they do.
Yeah.
I think there was like a really big push for my family of like, you know, oh yeah, I think you're very talented, you are very funny, but you need to hit them books.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Or like, oh, you're focused on this thing, how much does it pay? You know what I
Yep.
mean? Or why are you doing it? I'm
Absolutely.
like, this is my craft. And nobody, you know, it's hard to get them to buy in. Initially, you know, when they ain't seen no checks. and so I feel really fortunate that after serving 2 combat tours in Iraq, coming home, trying to go back to school, and like getting to a point where like, oh, I can't keep listening to those voices.
Right.
Like, you know, I can't fit the mold the way they want.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're glowing up. I want to glow up. So I
Yeah.
thought maybe you could help me and we could do like a little improv
Oh.
thing and you can help me glow up because
You are glowing. You, oh my gosh, we're improvising right now.
okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I have a
Like,
lot
yeah,
of
but
notes
I'm,
on these cards.
please,
So-
you're in charge. I'm here with it.
Yeah.
Look, I was improvising the whole time I was in the United States Marine Corps. It is
Wow.
pure theater, all right? Everybody in the uniforms and the posturing, it's theater. A number of names, but Convergence is a name for this game.
Convergence.
Convergence. So
That
it's like
sounds serious.
It is serious.
Okay.
It's like, or Mind Meld is also another
also,
name.
that sounds scary. That sounds
And I still
serious
haven't
too.
even told you what it is yet. And it's basically a word association game.
Okay.
Now, okay, I'm gonna try and break
Ready.
this down. So basically what our end game here, our end goal is we wanna say the same word at the same time, all right?
I played this.
You have
Okay,
played that.
I have played it.
Right, and we each say a word and we keep dropping our words and we can't repeat any words and we make an association between the last 2 words you heard and we'll count down. So like somebody will say 1, another person will say
2.
That's just to indicate I'm ready, I'm ready.
Oh, good communication. Do this in your relationships before you have to tell your partner something hard. 1.
2, 1, 2, 3.
This isn't working.
I'm
you know?
saying.
It's like, it could work.
So anyway, we'll each keep throwing out random words or phrases.
Okay.
You try to stay in some kind of the same world, because some people be trying to throw you and they'll be like,
Yeah.
onomatopoeia,
Come on,
supercalifragilistic, and
we
you be like,
gotta be, and I love to
okay.
win, so I'm ready.
yo, I feel it. Look, and you know, I generally try to say, folks, it's not a competition. You know, take your time. Don't repeat any words. That if I had a rule. Anyway, okay.
1.
2.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Pink.
Pillow.
Pink pillow. So we have pink and we have pillow.
Okay.
1.
2.
1, 2, 3.
Pink
Cotton
Panther.
candy.
Okay.
Okay, so this is where I would yell at you. Don't repeat a word. This is not a hard, fast
Okay.
rule. This is not a hard, fast rule. This is an Alexis special. Most folks say, let it go.
I'm
You
so
can
sorry.
do that.
I'm so sorry.
That's just me.
I thought
That's
like
only
Pink
me.
Panther was like 1.
That's only me. I
Okay.
love it. That's just
Okay.
me. But
No, you
Alexis
were
would say,
clear.
drop the pink and say the panther. That's just me.
Okay.
Honest to God, most
Okay.
people don't do that.
You
That's
just
just
said
me
it.
because I
Okay.
like the challenge because
Okay.
I'm competitive. So I'm gonna take panther and cotton candy.
Okay.
1,
2.
1, 2, 3.
Three, stay
Insulation. Oh, that's a good one.
Gonna be some editing with this
Yep, there's
episode.
gonna be some editing.
But I'm in it. Okay. Always easy.
Don't judge us.
When you're watching Family Feud to know the number 1 answer, and then if you're on Family Feud to know the number 1 answer.
Exactly.
So anybody at home that's like, well, Khadijah, why did you say Pink Panther? She was really clear with her instructions. I know, she was.
1,
2.
1, 2, 3. Gout.
Gout. We did it! We got there with gout. Who knew?
She was like, let's wrap it up.
Who knew?
Let's wrap it
Gout.
up.
My gosh. Alexis, thank you for coming and
Yeah.
talking improv. And I think there was a lot of things that people can use in their own life. But so how do people find you? Social media, all of that.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, I do a lot of work with Blackout Improv, and we do conferences, we do workshops with students and adults, all sorts of folks, and blackout improv.com. Also working a lot with good Camel Comedy Theater that John Gilbertato's created. We've been doing this, the Oasis Laugh Battle over at Lush and Bryant Lake Bowl. It's a monthly show that you can look up online.
So you
yeah.
promoted every.
I think I was like, did I
thing
get
you
everything?
did,
Yeah.
but not you.
Me? What?
Nobody knows how
I
to
do.
find you.
Find me. Oh, excuse me. I'm so look.
Thank you for all
I love
that
my people.
information. How do people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. On Instagram, it's the number 1 and Lex, Lecks, and on Facebook, Alexis Camille. You can Google Alexis Camille and check out. I'll try to keep folks posted on what kind of shows and things I have going on.
Thanks, Alexis. Thanks for being here and sharing your story about healing and improv and laughter and somatic work and how it all can work together to have a more childlike joy in our lives, and that's what we all need.
Please and thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor. I really appreciate being here. Thank you for having me.
Yes! That was fire!
God.
Phew! What great conversations. I want to thank Sam and Alexis for coming and sharing their glow up journey. I hope today reminded you that it isn't just about how you look, it's about how you live. Sometimes the biggest glow up and the biggest transformations that we make are happening when nobody's watching. So give yourself credit for the growth that didn't make it to social media. Keep evolving, keep shining, and don't apologize for leveling up in ways that other people can't see. Remember, the only approval you need for your next season is your own. So until next time, keep glowing, keep growing, and keep laughing through it all. Thank you for tuning into the Khadijah Show. I'll see you next time. I love you and I mean it. Goodbye.